Seek him. I go find my little Bible because I was sitting in one stand. And I always carry a little Bible. While I'm waiting, I sit there and I read, and I couldn't find it the next morning. I must have left it in the stand or something. So the next day I had to hit the text and read from my cell phone. I hate to do that because them phones act so crazy sometimes. You see, I got it on solid. All of a sudden, some crazy mess come on and start talking, and you out in the woods and the phone goes talking. Now you done ran all the deer away. So I hate to even pull my phone out in the woods. That's why I take a little Bible and I go and read it. But if you diligently seek God, he will come to your rescue many times. He ain't gonna do everything you ask him, but he will come to your rescue. He will let you know that he is God and he still loves you. Have you tried God to see if God loves you? Moses, he didn't know when God called him. He said, I'm going to turn aside and go see this thing. Bush over there burning, ain't burning up. I'm going to go see what's up with this. So Moses go up there and check it out. God said, hey, look at him. The ground you standing on is holy ground. Take off your shoes. Take your shoes off. He started talking to him, telling him what he wanted to do. And he started doing what people do now. What people do now when God tells them to do stuff? They can go to making excuses. And Moses was 80 years old at this time. He probably said something about, man, I'm 80 years old. What you talking about? He probably, all kinds of excuses he made. As you read that, he angered God. God was ready to kill him because why? He had made excuses. Let me tell you something, people. You and God tell you something, you cannot be making excuses. You got to believe that God is God. Yes, and he means what he says. And guess what? He says what he means. Yes, we might say something jokingly and don't mean it. But when God says something, guess what? He means what he says. I done checked him out. He done said some stuff. And I went on and I said, well, maybe that's just my mind saying that. So I'm going to go on in my... And then after I look back at it, I said, that was God telling me, and I just didn't do it. Because God means what he says. He knows our ending as well as what? Our beginning. That's why one of my favorite scriptures is what? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to what? Your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And then I added a little bit to that. Forgive me, Lord. I said this. And after he tells you, don't you be hard-headed and don't do it. All right. Amen. Amen. That's just the problem. He tells a lot of us stuff. We just get hard-headed and don't do it. Amen. That's why we don't go where we ought to be going. I wanted to be successful. And like I said many times, when I got to buy my first house at 22 years old, I stopped at that Vero dump one night and I turned toward the eastern sky. And I said, Lord, I don't want to be doing nothing cricket. I'm going to let you make me. That's what I told God. I'm going to let you make me. And that's what he did. You got some of them got rooms around in Wilbassa that I found some stuff in the ocean, and that's how I got my money, and that's how I